It is time. You guys asked and you shall receive. We are officially talking about defense, how to do defense, how to play defense in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because ultimately in this game, defensive maneuvers are way more important than any of the combos that you will ever execute. You can really go really far away with just auto combos and spamming beams, as long as your defense is really good, because your opponent is having a tough time hitting you, or you're just getting out of their combos and stuff. It's going to be ridiculous for them. I'm also going to teach you guys how to do that annoying thing where if you're getting hit from behind, you can't get out of it, but if you're hitting other people from behind, they can get out of it. There's a really cool thing in the tutorial that they showcased to us on how we can execute that. It's called the super counter. I'll be showing you all of that in this video. So hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that. And help raise that 38% even higher. We got way more sparking content coming your way, individual character guides and combos as well. And you guys don't want to miss out on any of that. Now, let's get into the video. I talked about it many times before, but I just got to keep on doing it because it's extremely important, guys. You need to decide whether or not you're going to be playing with classic controls. Be straight up with you guys. I play with classic because there's a little bit of a secret, something that I've been manipulating when I play against other people that's been helping me, give me a little bit of an edge when it comes to vanishing. But I think ultimately standard controls are way better. Your defense is more simplified. You don't have to worry about too much in regards to, for example, perception being a double input on classic. You have to press circle and triangle to do that here. Whereas on standard, you don't have to do that. It actually just is a dedicated circle button. But rather than talking about that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you all that. So we're gonna start with classic because that's the way that I play. And other things that I do, I have the directional button controls and the speed impact control set to standard. What speed impact will do, it'll make it so that you can save your analog stick so you don't have to worry about killing it when you're doing a beam clash or anything like that. Directional button controls makes it so that instead of having to click L3 and R3 in order to swap your characters, you just press left on the D-pad, and then you can use the face buttons of triangle, square, circle, and X to choose which character you want to switch to next. I know it says on the screen, use the right stick still. It's bugged. They got to fix that. That's a weird glitch. And also, very important, guys, you're going to want to disable all assist options. If you do have any disabilities that do make playing games difficult and tough, I highly recommend you turn these on. But if you guys bear with me, guard assist is one of the worst things you can have on in this game. It actually will ruin your defense. It'll make it so that it prioritizes guard, which is the same button as you would press to vanish and Z counter. So it'll prioritize a block instead of Z counter. I guarantee you, if you turn this off, you will be Z countering and vanishing a lot more consistently, and you'll feel a major difference with it too. And also revenge counter assist, please turn that off for the love of God. It's trying to do a good thing, but it's hurting you more than anything else by draining your skill points. Major shout outs to Atlas for sponsoring this video. RPG fans are eating insanely good this year because a strong Game of the Year contender has finally arrived, and that is Metaphor ReFantazio. You can click my link down below in the description and pinned in the comments today to get your own copy of Metaphor now. The creators of Persona 3, 4, and 5 got together and developed another instant classic, and everything from snappy combat, sleek visuals, and the Atlas staple godlike menus and UI is here, and exactly what you would expect. Don't just take it from me. Check out the insane reviews it is getting right now. It just reached a 94 on Metacritic, the highest score of the year for any game. And even right now, you can download the demo on your platform of choice and see for yourself what all the hype is about. The demo has a lot to offer, and I highly recommend you guys try out the Berlega Corridor dungeon to really get a good feel for the game. They thought of everything with this. But my absolute most favorite thing about the game has to be the way that they handle the turn-based combat. You can run into enemies and take them on in a separate turn-based style, but if you're stronger leveled, you could actually skip enemies by KOing them from the world map screen as you run around. This is actually called Fast Battle, and it's a cool feature that's way more effective when you're higher level than the monsters. But I think this is such a breath of fresh air to see, and I seriously can't wait to finally play it and for you guys to get your hands on it. Metaphor ReFantazio is out right now. Click our link in the description below or pinned in the comments to get your copy today. So guys, going to super training, I'm gonna go to battle training, and in here we're gonna have Piccolo with an assortment of tutorials that I do need to go through one by one to show you guys. So I'm gonna be showing you guys the classic controls first. So starting with counters right here, right? Revenge counter. This move makes it so that you can actually, so like while you're getting hit, right, you have to be middle of, it won't work if you're blocking. You have to be getting hit. You can press double tap L1 if you're on classic to break out. But you see it does use skill points on the top left. It uses 2. So if I have 3, it's going to use it. I'm going to drop down to 1. If I use, if I'm at 4, you can also do it from behind as well. But you saw I did it too late, and Piccolo was actually able to still combo me right there. So you want to be using this at the right opportunity, because they could actually, if they vanish behind you or they're in the middle of another move, you see they're moving slowly right there. He actually could hit me still and interrupt this, and I would have wasted my revenge counter. So just keep that in mind. Now, another very important thing, and this is the same input as a perception. So the game doesn't really say it here, but you could use your perception to counter your opponent's counter. If you are hitting your opponent and they do a revenge counter, you could actually counter that. Watch that. That's pretty badass. That's actually one of the coolest things this game has in it, I think, personally. Like, being able to counter the counter. Let me see if I can counter his other counter now. What's wrong? You really, like, oh my god, could you imagine them spending all those skill points on this, and you just counter it back to back? It feels so satisfying, man. Perception counters are one of the best things in this game. Now we're going to talk about the different guards, right? So in this game, when you're blocking, whatever your block button is, you could actually aim it. So I could block low or high or in the middle, and it makes a big difference with those unbreakables, because if I'm just blocking neutral block right here and Piccolo does that attack, he'll actually break my guard. Same thing happens if I'm blocking low and he goes for a high, it's gonna do the same thing. So when you're blocking against your opponent, right, you're gonna want to be mixing it up and throwing high ones in there to really help yourself out, guys. It's a real big deal. And you could do it too to really open up the opponent as well. All you gotta do is press forward and square, you hold it down, and boom, Piccolo's guard has been broken. Now here we go, advanced counters, my most favorite thing in this game. We're gonna be showing you guys perception, which on classic controls is circle and triangle together. When you do this, it'll parry the enemy's next attack. And the cool thing about it is it costs no resources, it doesn't cost any ki, it doesn't cost any skill points at all. However, there is another version of this called super perception, which has a longer animation, does a little bit more damage, but it does use skill points. So you see I'm at skill point number 5 right there. If I'm holding perception to counter, it'll do that animation right there. It'll use 1 skill point, which is cool because this will block other like big hitting attacks, and this will give more damage. It'll also like kind of stagger the enemy, so you can kind of like go into a combo. You see how combo continued right there actually. So super perception is good, but remember it is going to cost 1 skill point. And now this is what you guys have been waiting for right here. This is the super counter. So you'll notice enemies, they get behind you and they start hitting you from behind, and you can't really do anything about it. With this, however, you actually can do something about it right there. And as a matter of fact, I'll let him hit me once so you can see. There you go. See, you could get a super counter off. So that is how you get enemies off of you when they are straight up just in your cheeks, putting all that weight on your back. What you got to do is just press forward and square, which forward and attack at the right time to interrupt them. So you got to get used to it. There is a timing to it right here. You can actually also just kind of spam it and get lucky if you want, but you're not going to get better at that. See, you just get used to the timing. You can see it's like right as the opponent is hitting you. You can actually even do it while blocking, which is the best part about this. But this is a negative for classic controls, because if you're on classic controls, you have to block with the circle button, which means you have to like stretch your thumb over and then press forward. There's multiple reasons why to not use classic in this game, but that is definitely a major one, because you're technically hindering yourself if you're just running classic mode and not using super counters and getting out of it. But yeah, just to answer you guys' question, a lot of people have been asking me this: how do I get out of combos when opponents are hitting me from behind? I feel like I'm stuck in there. That is how you do it. Even if you're getting hit from behind, you press up and square and you will get out of that combo. There you go. And now the good old Z counters, and this is why I stubbornly haven't switched off of classic yet. So perception, when you're in classic controls, is circle and triangle. Z counter, in order to do a Z counter and dodge your opponent's attack, it's on the circle button as well. So what I like to do is I just press perception. So it's like either one, right? So if I'm getting hit by an opponent, right, I can either vanish or perception. And so I just got into the habit of doing both of them. Just doing both of them, it really does help me out tremendously. And look at that. Piccolo's trying to spam me right there. And look at that. My spam with the perception helped me out tremendously. The main thing for this is to help you out if you're getting hit from behind so that you don't continuously get locked into a Dragon Rush spam from them. And also with high speed evasion too, it's like if they're using an attack up here and I'm spamming perception. So you see I have 1 skill point right now and I have it set so that the Piccolo dummy will actually try to hit me. And this is why I kind of like playing it on this way, because when I'm perceptioning, I also have an opportunity to evade their attack or counter it. So like right here, see, I actually dodged it right there. But then I could also get that every now and then, right? As long as you have a skill counter, and later on in fights, you'll have a lot of those points just like stocked up. You'll just be able to dodge these. And look right there, I was able to do another dodge. But that is essentially how I play defense in Sparking on classic mode. Now this is probably the most sick thing that I could show you guys in here. We got Piccolo using a Sparking ultimate attack right now, and I'm gonna show you guys how to slap it away. You need at least 2 skill points on the top left in order to do this, and you have to do perception. So you can just hold it down right here and watch Gohan will slap it away. I was at 5 and watch Gohan will slap it away. Just slap it away, man. It's pretty sick. I'm gonna show you guys again. I only have 1 skill point. It is not gonna work. So now we actually have the computer enemy is gonna do a final flash. I'm gonna see if Goku can actually use perception to deflect it, which is a Sparking ultimate. Nope, you cannot deflect Sparking ultimates, it looks like. That's good to know. So now we're actually gonna be swapping to the standard controls to show you guys how those same defensive mechanics will work, and also maybe I'll discover if it's a little bit better and I want to switch over to myself, you know? So going to revenge counters. Revenge counter now in standard control is just R3. So that actually is quicker to activate than L1 double tap. Look how much faster. Boom. Boom. So to me, it's a little bit easier to revenge counter on standard, of course. And remember, we could counter their revenge counter with perception, but in standard controls, perception is just circle. Block is R1 now, but this is just straight up circle now. So we're gonna block that, punch him. It's so much easier and more consistent to do it this way, and I think ultimately it's probably better. You can just keep holding it too. You don't even have to like repress it. Godlike. And now we're going back to my favorite perceptions again, and you just literally just hold circle. All you gotta do is hold circle. It's so much easier to, in my opinion, do defense overall in standard. And if you're playing classic, you're kind of like handicapping yourself in a lot of ways, because single button inputs to do a whole defensive mechanic is always going to be better than a double combination input, you know? And the same goes for super perception, but remember, this just uses skill points. So it uses 1 skill point in order to execute, and it staggers them enough to really be able to like kind of like start hitting them again. Now to evade, right, like Dragon Dash, you just it's R1 or the right bumper. And honestly, this feels really good. Actually, it's kind of easier for me to do the perceptions, because if I'm holding both, right, I could just do that, or my timing is good, I could dodge it that way. So it's overall pretty good. I might actually make that switch sooner than later. And then we got super counters, which that doesn't change in standard. I promise you that it's just the same inputs as well as just forward square. That doesn't change at all with that. So going with the super counters again. See, now I'm blocking with right bumper as you would on standard. The Z counters, just like that. Actually, that one felt good. That one might be easier. Yeah, wow. And now let's try to counter his counter. Yeah, I kind of wish he would vanish that one, so I could just vanish again, vanish again, vanish again, and get the timing down. I've seen some people on Twitter do some amazing like non-stop vanishes on enemies, and it's kind of cool. And that wraps it up for learning defense in this game, guys. If you guys missed it, be sure to check out our combo guide. We uploaded it just before this video right here, so those two go hand in hand together, because you're going to want to learn some combos. They're beginner to intermediate levels and some advanced combos in there as well, but good defense will always outplay a strong offense in this game. So as long as your defense is good, you're getting out of combos, and you know how to counter your enemies, getting really good at those high speed evasions and Z counter timing, you're going to be a menace to go up against. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to comment them down below and let me know. I'm always hyped to make more sparking content and looking forward to making any video that you guys generally want to see. So comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Sparking Zero content is on the way and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.